It was in April 1981, down in the ghetto of Brixton. Babylon them cause such a friction that it bring about a great insurrection, and it spread all over the nation. It was truly an historical occasion.
Greetings, Ras Babu. It's been a long time, and there's a few things I man really would like to reason with you on
See?
for this moment where roots and culture is concerned.
Yes.
Because I know the I is from the very foundation, and when we look in terms of Mahat and the ancient African principle of balance, how does the I, see, such a value system?
Yes, greetings, Rastafari, because balanced living, which means natural living, is at the heart of our very existence, This is the kind of people we were. You could see it in everything we do, even from the way we cooked, how we tried to seek to be one in harmony with nature. That is, and one with the soil. How we used to farm, where we would actually farm by, using, not like planting in a row, like we're going to sell it to the market, but by the jungle was the original farm, where everything grew right along, and that way we could pay attention and nature the soil. So now, the times we used to eat, was in balance with nature. When the sun come up, we would eat a good meal in the day. Then, before the evening, we would eat a lighter meal. This is the kind of people, we would change our food according to the seasons.
Yes, and is that really because to us as a people, really, we didn't see diet as different from God, or diet as something that is different from health, or something that is different from the Mahitian principles and the balance of nature and everything.
Right.
This is why we said everything is everything?
This is true because, like I was saying today, that in the Western music, they emphasize the isolation and the pure separation of the note. How that note is different and almost is kind of like a Robinson Crusoe thing, how that note stands alone. In our music, it's the rhythm,
yes,
the interconnection, how everything is bound together, how even in ancient times, people saw spiritual practices not divorced from how you ate and not divorced from certain physical practices. This was the essence. I mean, we didn't see like Saturday night was Saturday night and Sunday morning was Sunday morning because they were all intertwined.
It's part and parcel of the old.
All over, right.
And as you mentioned about the music and the balance thereof, I mean, when we consider that the whole of man's physical temple is 1,000,000 trillion billion molecules and atoms vibrating together, and anything that vibrates creates a sound.
Exactly.
So the interaction between what you're speaking about then, the music and the notes, right, with the rhythm, right, creates such an ambience that in truth, through the music even, we are balanced.
Exactly, because that's why if you listen to the wrong music, because just like there's junk food today, just like there's that chicken and sweet type of diet that many of the youth are going for today, and that there's also the same kind of music. And that music is poisoning their minds and their bodies in the exact same way as that food. And in fact, that food creates that type of music.
Okay. Do you think then that in the time that we are living now, whereas there's a lot of disruption, maafa, disasters going on where our youths are concerned in terms of the music that they are listening to, you see that as being part and parcel of a problem?
Yes, this is a big problem because, like I say, much of the music, even when you look at reggae, you see much of the dance hall rhythm is not even a reggae rhythm. It's a different type of rhythm because the reggae rhythm, which comes out of the Nyabingi sound, is the human heartbeat.
Yes.
You don't get no more rhythmic than that. That's the pure living, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people can't stand that, because that rhythm, if you're on a 24/7 lifestyle, that rhythm sounds like completely out of order. But is the foundation? That's why even some of the dance, but much of it is on that kind of jumpy.
Yes.
Real speed up like you're in a 24/7.
Mechanical, more mechanical type shit.
It doesn't
not
have
human.
It doesn't have the human touch. Because that was the success of reggae from its emergence was in the 70s. It brought the human touch. And think about as the reggae music was developing, that was at the same time the Rasta movement was coming to the fore. That's at the same time where people were locking off the tin thing and begin to grow their own food. ITEL, right?
Yes.
Because begin to eat like just pure vegetables. And like Muta Baruka said, taking their meat out of their rice and peas, right? So this was, and it was the same time that was the golden age of reggae, the real height of the spiritual music, because if you eat a certain way, and even when you look in the East, the monks in the East are the foundations of the martial arts.
Yes.
And they also are the foundation of the vegetarianism in these, because they never divorce the practice of the martial arts from the diet, from the spirituality.
And in truth, as you said that, because I can remember back in time when from the Nile Valley, when the arts and the sciences and so forth left and went to India, to the Indus Valley, and over there it became yoga, it became different martial art, and then was taken from there into China. So the same system then that they have now in China with the monk, to us was the sage.
Exactly.
And also the people and the practice that they have over there and they're actually doing is deriving from the roots, which is the Nile Valley.
The Nile Valley.
And going through. So now it's like the 300, you have actually gone on the 360-degree circle, really, because you yourself, as a art person, in the music and so forth, in New York, in America, in the Caribbean, and leaving there and then going yourself to the Far East, to Japan, right? And finding yourself over there in terms of, as you said, the herbalistic realm and so forth, which you was practicing before from the Rasta aspect of your being. Now, what was the situation when you reached there? How did you find the people that you came amongst? How did they take you as a Rasta man, an African, coming into that domain?
Right. When I first reached Japan, actually it was quite different than what I had ever read about. In the sense we get certain views. And the main thing that was shocking to me was it was a different pace of life. Even though a city like Tokyo is a really hustle and bustle, it's a city like this. Say if you got a bicycle, you leave it outside, go to work, come back, your bicycle's still there, unlocked. That's the kind of place. A friend of mine, after seeing Josh Shaka's show, accidentally left his wallet where he paid a ticket.
Yes.
Left it there at 12 o'clock at night and could come back and get it the next day. True. And even not even one penny or 1 yen was gone. Even like in New York, here what a good person would have done. They would have took the money as a reward. Right? That's the good people. And maybe left your credit cards if you had them, right? So in that sense, it is very different. And the other thing that was shocking there too was from the time I got there, I saw a lot of brothers. And I couldn't wonder where all these brothers come from. But it was a lot of brothers from Ghana.
Okay.
And mainly brothers come to work in the factories there. But a brother, and so people come there to work in the factories and gain money, and mainly they're working to get money to build a brick house. Unfortunately, even there, some of the people never spend a night in it because many of the brothers go back, or no, they don't go back, they actually die in Japan and and some of them have their ashes shipped back. Because even in Ghana, they say, don't go to Japan because you'll come back and die. And because the people, what happened, they work so hard. Mainly many of the brothers, they just eat like, maybe they get some Skippy's peanut butter, which to make an imitation ground nut, because Skippy has everything in it. Everything. I mean, it's a pure rubbish kind of thing. It's not no ground nut. Then, maybe get some old chickens and maybe get some old rice, which may have fungus infection, everything, and take that in order to work to just get that money. So then we started a program talking about health. And at first, people told us, no, man, the brothers just want to work and make money. Brothers started flocking. We would have meetings of over 100 people. And and then like people had questions about the traditional foods like cassava, like gar. They thought it gave you headaches and make your eyes pop out. But then as we begin to explain the base of this, people started finding, and many brothers after a short time would leave and go back. And I asked a lot of brothers, say, I thought you were going to stay 10 more years. They say, you know what? In the course of healing myself, I realized that all the wonderful things are right back at home. You know, so,
Revelation.
right, so to me that was even that was part of the healing process.
Okay.
That was part of the healing process was, you know, and that's how it happened. Sometimes you have to be away from home to really appreciate home because sometimes we don't know, you know, just like when you're in the garden, sometimes you don't know how rich it really is until you get away from it. And I think that was really part of that healing message because today, even ourselves, we will never get over our liver problem as long as we hate ourselves. As long as we still got the Friday weekend experience where we're killing up each other, where, you know, think about the dance. Even when you think about the dance, you know, it's a place where you go to relax and enjoy yourself, yet it's a place highly associated with violence and gunshots. Think about that, because that's when that self-hatred thing come out. I see some more blacks. I'm black. I can't get ahead. I'm gonna take some out. You know,
Ras Babu, tell me something. The Rasta situation within Japan, how do they see the Rasta man in Japan?
Right. Well, actually, because Japan is a different kind of society, actually, the truth, the Rasta is highly respected. You know, because probably even myself, I probably know more people in my neighborhood than anybody else in the neighborhood.